Snowmobile Manufacturers Association to give out the first place overall award in the internal combustion class.
Thanks, Jay. Well, this has been a fun night. I really enjoyed this. I think Jay knows it's a little scary to give me a mic this late at night, especially at the end of a program, because I do have a few things to say. A couple of things after listening to all the remarks. First of all, some of you might have no idea who the International Snowmobile Manufacturers Association is. Most of you don't, I'm assuming. Well, first of all, we are the folks that filed suit in the year 2000 to keep Yellowstone National Park open after it was closed by Mr. Babbitt and Mr. Berry and some of his associates. So far we've been successful, and as Jim alluded to, there are lawsuits ongoing. We have battling judges, Judge Brimmer, Judge Sullivan. It's complicated. The fact is the snowmobile manufacturers have spent about $1.4 million in legal fees keeping the park open, and ultimately we believe other national parks for all of our recreation activity. So that's just one of the many things we do. As I was listening to Joel Haltrip, Joel, you hit all the nails on the head from the National Forest Service point of view, how important and how engaging this community is, right? And this is really a very unique coalition. For those of you that are students, if you get involved in the snowmobile community, you really don't know what you're getting involved in. It's a very unique organization. I think it's the only industry in the world, literally the only one in the world. And I kind of did this work in the recreational vehicle business, the boat business, a lot of other businesses, where the manufacturers, the dealers, the suppliers, and our customers, these folks, all get together on a continuing basis. And from the manufacturer's perspective, we look at our customers in a rather selfish way, but we look at you folks as the fifth manufacturer. Because you collectively, with the public land managers throughout the United States, are the trail builders, aren't you? And without those trails, without those riding areas, none of us would be successful. So we try to build the best product we can for all of you to enjoy, and you folks and the public land managers and others collectively build and maintain the trail system that makes this place really unique. Because boaters don't do that, do they? RV folks don't build the campgrounds. Snowmobilers build, maintain, and fund the trail system. And we're so glad that you're there to help us and do that. I had one more thing I wanted to say before I left. I do have the opportunity, by the way, to interact with all these regulators. And as I see the students working on the US EPA emissions, emission issues, sound issues, I want to tell you that on a weekly basis, I talk to folks at the EPA. That rule was promulgated in the year 2002, and we just finalized the 2012 standard. So yeah, I'm a busy guy. I spent a lot of time in Ann Arbor and Washington, D.C., and now we're just finalizing the same standard in the great country of Canada, which is going to mirror the US EPA standard. And I'm working a lot of hours on interacting with the folks at the European Union. And we have a friend of ours here, Magnus Lindgren, who's with the Swedish Road Association. He happens to be the EU expert, and he's in Brussels, and he sits on the committee that's reviewing the noise and emissions directive for the European Union, which we hope will soon adopt the standards that we have here in the United States and will soon have in Canada. So I only mention these things to let you know that this is truly an international effort. And I think when we're done in Europe, if I'm able to live that long, we'll be spending some time in Russia, which is a very rapidly growing market. And by that time, I think they'll start to be concerned about emissions. They don't seem to be right now, but I think pretty darn soon they're going to be. And I should say that we're doing the same thing on the sound side, right? We're updating the SAE J192 test procedure. And believe it or not, we're going to move that into an ISO standard starting in a few months. So we'll be spending more time in Europe. And with that, that's why we're here, to continue. And by the way, we really appreciate all the help and the good ideas you guys give us. I know there's been a number of students who have graduated from the universities and have taken jobs with the manufacturers. I think we might have a couple in the room. It's a great program. We really love and enjoy supporting it, and we're going to continue to do that. And of course, the winner of the first place overall is University of Wisconsin-Madison. You guys make my job easier. I use you as good examples all the time. You think I'm kidding? Hey, thanks. Thanks, guys.